manager for the entire community. So if you think we don't get along now, you know, can you only imagine? Steve would be running over there, and Basil would be running over there, Middle River Club would be taken care of, and then the ghetto, we would be living in a ghetto. So that wouldn't work out.
I think that's unfair. I think that's unfair.
It's unfair? It's my history of doing the work. It's not unfair. It's my knowledge, firsthand experience.
I mean, I hate to say this, but everybody is replaceable. It doesn't mean the world comes to an end.
Oh, I wish. When? I got to get it done. Yeah, please, please, Jesus, soon. Yeah. Don't worry. We may be getting one that's a big surprise. Yeah.
What?
That's a good one.
What was that, David?
Reopen the board meeting
Yeah.
and make a motion asking for his resignation.
That's not how it's done.
Wait a minute, I didn't even get that.
He wants to reopen the board and ask for your resignation.
For what? What's River Shores gonna do? Just because that's the way David wants it? Oh, David needs to go maybe back to River Bend and live. They're gonna be due for a big assessment soon.
No,
Yes.
I'm very happy where I'm living.
You
Very
are?
happy in River Shore.
Hasn't sounded that way since you moved there.
Nope, I love it there.
You do?
Yeah.
There's some hands up.
Yes, John.
I'm not
A lot of good
complaining.
people there.
I'm not complaining.
You're not one of them.
Wait, you haven't learned yet how bad I can be.
So all
Any
this,
any update on the pool heater?
Right, Craig will explain that to you.
Who?
Craig.
Oh, Craig.
Me.
Oh, Craig.
Yeah,
You.
because I had a conversation with Steve just prior to the meeting.
Oh, good.
And he's been calling, he's having a hard time finding anybody who will be able to repair that in a timely fashion. So,
Oh.
he's doing what he can to his degree of expertise and whatnot, and he's left messages. I was here and he called.
Right.
And so he's working on it, and that's all I have to report.
It's not so easy, is it?
Is that possible? Well, the problem is, like a lot of jobs, there's not enough people that want to do that kind of work or are available to do that kind of work, apparently. This is apparently, according to Steve. So,
Yeah,
I'm just
according to
saying.
Steve, I understand.
Yeah, well, I mean, he knows more than I do about stuff like that, so, and he's got more contact, so that's all I have, yes, question.
Yes, I know of a person that would probably do this.
Okay,
A guy named Chris Merkel, and I'll get you his phone number.
okay.
I don't have it with me, but I will get it for you.
Chris Merkel?
Right. He's a pool surgeon.
Okay.
The company's pool surgeon and pool doctor. I
That would
can't
be
remember.
helpful, because I'd end up, forwarding it to Steve.
Yeah.
To kind of coordinate that, unless you wanted to go directly to Steve.
Well, she used this guy for like 15 years and her,
Yeah, when I couldn't
she
do
was a
something.
pool
I
contractor.
would contract it up, yeah. And if you use my name, I'm sure that would help.
Okay. Are you,
I'm over here.
yeah, are you friendly with Steve, Do you see Steve, or?
I see Steve once in
Yeah,
a
I
while.
gave Steve the number of the guy to call for the chairs.
Oh, okay, so,
Yeah.
could you
That
do
should have been done in
rather than
June,
go through
but-
me, or?
Well, whatever you want to do.
Yeah,
you
I
can
mean,
give
that
it
would
to-
probably be best, I think.
Just give it to Steve?
Yeah, because he's on it now, and so
Okay.
he could just add that to that, trying to
Okay.
get this
We have
resolved.
to put the
Okay, yeah.
Tony first before he gets anything done. Report has to.
Okay, so we're good on that? That
I'll get
question
you his
about the
phone
heater?
number.
Okay.
Get Steve's phone
I think
number.
John, who's up next, John?
I just have to, say that, Tony, with all due respect, you create a false narrative constantly about how things operate, okay?
Mhm. Thank you, John.
You do.
Yeah.
For example, I mean,
Is this
Yeah.
a question?
Is this a question, or is this a pick on Tony?
here's the thing. You had to explain to us
Oh.
through this entire meeting for over 2 hours, the whole history, all the background. That wasn't you answering a question. As soon as we have a comment, you say, you have a question?
Right.
It's so disrespectful.
It is.
Your rants-
Horrible.
Your rants on
Horrible.
these things, like even on the
Come to the meeting
board
tomorrow.
agenda. That rant has nothing to do with the board agenda. It shouldn't be there. you give a one-sided thing. You've been doing it since, like the
Yeah.
landscape committee thing. You bring it up over and over. Yes, I brought it up at a couple.
Over and over and over again, yes.
But the
Yeah.
thing is, you create this false narrative. You were
Right.
bringing up $300,000 just now. At one meeting, I said, how the hell do I know how much this will cost? I was arguing for a professional landscaper, and it was gonna cost us something like $5,000 to $8,000 to get the whole design put in by, and this was a committee, by the way, of all three condo associations. About
Notice
10
how
of
he
us.
accuses me and then he goes on and on and on. Have you noticed this?
Okay,
Yeah.
so anyway, bottom line, I know the results are, you voted it down. It's done. Okay, last year, after the meeting, when you were suggesting putting vines on the beautiful chain link fence that we have, that we look at now, you suggested vines and you tabled it. I wrote to the board and I suggested clusia bushes, and I believe that's what you've been showing us, Frank. I don't know, I didn't see your pictures.
Right.
But clusia is all over the county. It's replaced ficus everywhere. Go over to Sprouts and that new housing development.
Is
where
this,
Kmart
is this,
used to
he
be.
accuses me and yet he goes on and on and on about going over and over and over the same thing.
It creates a hedge that's beautiful, low maintenance. Anyway, I suggested that last year to the board. Tony was respectful, but said, we'll try the vines, and so he answered me. Peg said, yeah, I think we'll try the vines. Fred wrote to me and said, who are you? Why are you contacting me? Erase my email address completely. You have no right to communicate with me. This is the president
Can we
of
applaud
this
him?
board, who, if I understand correctly, won't allow anyone to communicate with them unless it's through a lawyer now. What kind of an organization?
No, that's a
is this?
choice. You decide to do that. And who knows, maybe we'll get a threatening letter today. I hope so. Oh, Jesus, please, make my day. Oh, please.
Tony, you know,
What's your question, John?
Well, the condo, you put it on the agenda. I wrote to Tony twice to not put on the agenda this argument that River Terrace is having with Blue Shores about payment for that common property.
And he told me, damn it, and I did it. How dare I?
No. You obfuscated
What?
and refused
You're
to give me an
disrespectful.
answer.
He's disrespectful.
In
No,
good faith
weren't you
about to get
disrespectful when you
payment
attacked
from
him in
River
the
Shores.
office?
The way you talk
Right.
to people is
It's
disrespectful.
unbelievable.
You did what?
It's horrible.
What did you do to
I
Tony?
can't even hear you, so.
What did you do to
This
Tony?
is the false narrative.
Yeah.
This is the false narrative. These people
Okay.
don't see what goes on.
They don't
behind
see
the
it.
scenes.
Yeah, I know, they don't see shit. I get it.
Tony.
Yeah. And what's your question, John?
No, it's not a question, it's a state. People need to know,
Okay.
not one side of this. They need to
Correct.
know the honest thing.
The honest side.
Craig Landis and I came down in October and said, Tony, we want to meet with you about the dispute outside our building about payment. Tony said, I don't want to meet with you. I will not meet with you. Okay, I wrote to Tony again.
Do you know why I don't want to meet with you? Because I have to listen to this shit.
Just let me tell these people what happens as an example of your one-sided narrative.
Right. That's why you don't get to see me, because I don't want to listen to your shit.
Speak. I would have a
Right.
conversation with you. I've met with you before. It just won't, so he went.
Thank you. Motion to adjourn. Thank you. You just keep
Second.
talking. Thank you. It is now 1:45. Thank you.
Somebody else who would like